Hey everyone, so I'm doing my John Maxwell for today. I hopped on a conference this morning for faith-based entrepreneurs, so that was good for me. I'm kind of shocked that America still has so many housing problems, and the things we want to do for Africa, they are trying to do for America. But anyway, I think there's opportunities there for partnership. And I think there's opportunities to learn from each other, so it's good in that way. And for today's John Maxwell, I'm focusing again on a leader's heart. So it's a devotional guide, it's a journal, and I decided to use this because it's easy, it's got good bullet points. And the scripture for today was from Proverbs 11:30. Live right and you will eat from the life-giving tree. And if you act wisely, others will follow. One of the things that I took away from the conference is that, for us faith-based leaders, most of us are going through rough times. Most of us do not have a source of income. And so we're looking for ways to partner with others, venture capitalists, people who have the finances to invest in us, especially if you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to do it on your own. It is very difficult. So hopefully for me, connecting with this group will help to change things. I also sent my proposal to the government, so I'm hoping they can help because they have a big push on women entrepreneurs and developing good values and building ties between Canada and Africa. So my focus is Zimbabwe. Nigeria gets a lot of attention, it gets a lot of money, it gets a lot of funding, and most of the Nigerians that I know that come here are telling me, keep away from it. So I'm focusing on Zimbabwe, and that's what I would like to do, that's what I would like to develop. So if you know of anybody that's willing to help with the capital, I'm not asking for that much. I'm asking for under 100,000, 80,000. It's not that much. And from that, I hope to be able to train in the schools in Zimbabwe and give retreats. And then also develop my initiatives here. I'm doing it on my own because I did reach out to the Jesuits in Britain. They're not using my skills. I reached out to the Jesuits in Canada, the Sisters of St. Joseph, the Sisters of Mercy. None of them have invited me to give retreats. The only ones that did was the Jesuits in Scotland, and that was only once for one of the Lenten retreats. And that also wasn't as successful as it could have been because I was dealing with people who were in the Philippines and Australia, and I'm in Canada, so the time difference, it's too hard. You can't make everybody meet when there's that big of a time difference. It's nicer and better to have people in the same time zones, or people in North America, Britain, it would have been easier because the time difference is not as big as trying to coordinate people who are in the Philippines and Australia, because when it's night in Australia, then it's day here, and then the Philippines is a different time zone. So, yes, once or twice we met, and there were a few of us that got onto the calls, but it was too difficult. So I'm hoping that if I can do this way, I can also lead groups of my own, facilitate them. Because if you're an entrepreneur, you like to be in control, you like to be driving things, you like to be leading things, and you don't want to be taken and put in the corner. So that's why it was a good session for me to join and to also hear about what's happening in America, what they're focused on. They looked at film a lot and the importance of film in education as well as entertaining, and some of the challenges that they've had. So for us as entrepreneurs, this is an important message for today because it's about being before doing. And when people know who you are, they are attracted to who you are. And out of that comes the doing. It's not about the doing first, it's about who you are. And for Christians, it's about us putting God at the center of all things, of everything we do. And from that comes all our actions, how we live our lives, what we do, what we focus on. The real identity is important, because the problem occurs when a leader's real identity and the desired results don't match up. When we have consistency of character and competence and purpose, that becomes a powerful statement for the people around us, and it draws people to us. And when you say people achieve great things, if you desire to do great things with your life, then seek to become a better person and a better leader. None of us accomplish things on our own. So I'm doing this John Maxwell. Yes, I'm doing it for myself as an entrepreneur, but I belong to a team. I have other people who are entrepreneurs who are doing the same things that I can learn from, that I can connect with. We have conferences that we go to for training, and then we do transformational trips. There are trips organized around the world where we go into the poorest areas and we help in the schools or businesses with executives. John Maxwell has actually done training for the Vatican, for the sisters. So my aim is to be part of that and to attract good people, to attract people who want to become a better person, who want to do things with me on the journey. And so I'm leaving the results to God, because I know that I'm doing the good things, I'm doing the right things. I don't know how all of this is going to come together, but I've been doing this for a long time. So I'm trusting in that process. And also for film, if you look at film, like I don't know any of the new movies. I don't have money to go out to a movie. So I tend to watch movies 2 or 3 years later. I find them on Tubi, or even like very old movies like Hotel Rwanda. I only watched this year. I don't have the money to go out and to go to the theater and pay exorbitant prices to go see a movie. That's money I could buy a loaf of bread with. So because I'm poor financially, I'm limited in what I can do. But I can tell you that if you take the old movies, if you take like Flashdance, Xanadu, Grease, and you look at those movies with a Christian lens, you look at the movies on how are the changes going in the people's lives, how are they learning, how are they growing. They're not just fun movies. They're stories of resilience, they're stories of overcoming, they're stories of the Christ journey, of how people get crucified in daily lives, and the struggles of women and men in those movies. Indecent Proposal was a very popular movie, and now that Robert Redford has passed away, they're showing clips from all his old movies where he acted, what he did. And that helps you to question what are the values, the acceptable values in any society. What are the values that are promoted? What are the values that are rewarded? What are the values that in times of desperation people turn to, like Les Miserables? If you look at that, it's a very old movie, and the older movies are done better sometimes than the newer ones. And how somebody stealing a loaf of bread puts them in prison. But today we have situations where people can go into shops, they can just take the whole shelf off and they won't go to prison. The police will tell you, don't do anything. It's for your safety, don't do anything. So to me, that's not right, but then my values are not their values. And so we look with a lens, we look with a lens of our culture, we look with a lens of what was accepted, what was not accepted, and how things are changing. And the police are saying it's in the name of safety because they don't want anyone to get hurt. Well, the business is getting hurt. because they're stealing millions. The business is getting hurt. Me as an entrepreneur, I'm not getting investment in my business because I don't earn over 70,000 a year. So how do I get to earn 70,000 a year if I can't get the loans in the first place to get to that point? And if I'm being shut out of providing service with the Jesuits in Britain, the Jesuits in Canada, the schools in Canada, the financial institutions in Canada, how am I supposed to get an income? And how am I supposed to prove I have that income if you will not give me the job in the first place to help you? And that's why I'm grateful to the Jesuits in Scotland for giving me that opportunity. Because yes, it was hard. Yes, we didn't have too many meetings where all of us were there, but at least they included me, because it gave me the opportunity to facilitate, to lead, to be in control of a group. Here the priests get all the opportunities. The nuns get all the opportunities. As a lay woman, I don't get those opportunities. My name is not being sent out by the Jesuits in Britain as somebody who's qualified, who's able to lead retreats. They're not saying Belinda Fernandez is available and she's offering a Lenten retreat, or she's offering a retreat in daily life. So that's why I'm doing it on my own this way, and I'm combining the two. Spiritual direction is very different. You can't really do it online because you have to meet people. Yes, you can do it if you're using Skype or you're using Zoom or something like that, but you need that face-to-face interaction. You need to see people. People putting things in the chat is not spiritual direction. So they're not giving me the opportunities. That's why I'm doing it this way, because then what people can do is they can reach out to me. They can say, I'm looking for a spiritual director, and is it possible to meet? Is it possible to have a small group facilitation where we can meet together? And it's not the way it should be. It's not the way Regis College told us it would be, but it's very similar to what happened when I graduated from Wits. So the idea was you live at Trinity House and then you graduate and you get involved in the parish, and then you're supposed to find those opportunities in the parish. But if the parish doesn't give you those opportunities, you have to create them. You have to find a way to look for the opportunity, to do it on your own. And it's not easy, but it is worth it. And I won't give up on what I want to do, on my dreams, on my goals. And it's the Jesuits are Britain's loss, because if they're not willing to support me and I'm willing to support them, that's a one-sided relationship. It won't work. The same with the Jesuits in Canada, the same with the Sisters of St. Joseph or the Sisters of Mercy. Like, I can offer to say, yes, I'm available, I'm willing to help, I'm willing to do the Maxwell Leadership development for you, to guide retreats, but you are not willing to give me the opportunity. And that's why the country is suffering, because there are many of us here who have good skills, good talents, we're educated, but there's no work. So we're sitting at home. And that's why people are turning to entrepreneurship. We're looking to get involved in building bridges. For me, it's with the SADC region. We're putting our names out to the African Development Bank, to Stanbic, to the companies that are in Zimbabwe, to say, we're willing to come back. If you have a job for us, we're willing to come back. Because here, our lives are being wasted. Our talent is being wasted. And we're not getting the income coming in. So we can't provide for our families, we can't start families, we can't travel, we can't do any of those things. So that's why I'm doing it this way. And if you're interested, if you want to learn more, you can contact me. I can help you to connect with the Maxwell team. If you're interested in entrepreneurship and getting involved, doing something, there's a great need. I mean, there's a need for housing, there's a need for educators, there's a need for teachers. But we also need to have an income coming in. Our governments can't expect us to be willing to become paupers, to be willing to live in tents, to be willing to turn to crime. they're sending the wrong message, and that's the problem. So what I'm doing, I'm watching what the Jesuits in Britain are sending me, and I'm going to replicate it because they're not giving me the opportunity. So whatever they're doing, I'm going to do for free for the people following me, my friends and family, and I'm going to put a suggested amount for people to give me, like a financial gift, a stipend to help me live, because it's not fair of the Jesuits in Britain, it's not fair of the Jesuits in Canada, it's not fair of the sisters, and they have global organizations. They could easily get me involved. So that's why I'm doing it this way, and I'm asking you to pray for my financial success, to pray that this works, so that I can go out and train others, and then I can also have an income for myself and not continually be maxed out on all my credit cards, my lines of credit, my overdraft, and not have any income coming in. The church is rich, so why aren't they helping me? And I'm glad Pope Leo wants to step away from the politics and everything else. It's good. The church gets too much involved in the politics. The politics is part of our lives, but the Pope spends more time meeting heads of state and meeting politicians than he does meeting us. We want to meet him. We don't want a Pope involved in the politics. The politicians don't know what they're doing. Let them get an education and work it out. It shouldn't be the Pope's job to tell them what to do. I'm happy that he's stepping away from it. It's good. I like Pope Leo. It's good.